And tonight, Queensland is staring down the barrel of a 1 in 50-year cyclone as Alfred turns for the coast. But as locals prepare for impact, there are concerns authorities aren't doing enough when it comes to the state's water catchments.
Supermarkets stripped bare. Residents readying for the worst. Queensland State Premier today issuing a stark warning as Cyclone Alfred builds.
It is serious and it is happening, and we want Queenslanders to be prepared.
The Category 2 cyclone is set to make landfall on Thursday night, on track to cross between the Sunshine Coast and Brisbane. The Bureau of Meteorology predicting rainfall up to 700 millimetres, with severe winds expected to hit 120 kilometres per hour.
We are all bracing for heavy weather. We are prepared for the worst, but we hope for the best.
Alfred is already churning up waterways from southern Queensland to northern New South Wales. Waves of up to 10 metres recorded overnight, forcing cruise ships to take cover.
The waves were pretty big. The motion of the ocean was just...
To be honest, I didn't really notice. I was too busy partying.
And Brisbane city cats craned from the water. But as the state prepares for impact, attention is turning to the region's dams, with concerns dam operators aren't being proactive enough.
As long as they manage the Ivanhoe Dam properly, then hopefully we'll be okay.
We want to be sure that the dam operators will release water if they need to release water.
Queenslanders understandably nervous after a royal commission into the deadly 2011 floods found the impact could have been reduced if authorities had released the dam water earlier. This time round, southeast Queensland's water catchments are sitting at levels upwards of 80%. Ivanhoe at 86%, the Gold Coast's Hines Dam at 99.4%. Authorities insisting they're following to the letter the guidelines created in the wake of the 2011 floods.
They're the qualified people to do that, and they have to make that call. The one non-negotiable for me is that they communicate to Queenslanders what that looks like.
Well, Emma Thomas is SEQ Water's CEO. Emma, thank you for joining us. You're saying that you won't release water from the dams until the rain starts. Why is that?
I think we're all preparing for Tropical Cyclone Alfred crossing our coast late Thursday or early Friday morning. What's not clear at the moment is where that rainfall will occur and where exactly it will cross on the coast. And so with the storm surges that you've just heard in the bit before I came on, we have significant storm surges hitting our coast currently. We have potential for very significant localised rainfall into our rivers. So it's important to understand exactly what the system's doing before we add further water into the mix of that downstream in the Brisbane River.
Is there not a danger, though, that there'll be so much rain in this event that you could be forced to release water as the cyclone is still happening anyway?
I think one thing's for certain is that we're forecasting very significant rainfalls across southeast Queensland. Those rainfalls could occur anywhere from up at north Tewantin all the way through to the Gold Coast and the border between the Gold Coast and New South Wales. So our catchments fill in different ways. The Ivanhoe Dam, although we're saying it's 86%, it also has capacity of another 2/3, which is flood mitigation storage. If we have 100 million megalitres today, and a megalitre is the same as what takes up an Olympic-sized swimming pool, so we have 1 million megalitres in our dam today. We have further flood storage of 2 million megalitres on top of that that can fill in that dam.
Emma, you say you're applying the guidelines in the Flood Operations Manual. Do they cover cyclones?
The Flood Operations Manual is there to cover all extreme events. It's not specific to a particular type of weather pattern, but what it covers is extreme events that involve a lot of water and wind. So whilst cyclones are not named specifically, the extreme events are covered by that Flood Operations Manual.
Emma, there's a couple of huge days coming up. We appreciate your time.
It's going to be a big time, but thank you to everyone.